Oh, good evening. This is Elizabeth Griffin, your indie author from South Philadelphia, and welcome back to my channel. So this is Confessions After Dark by a writer, romance writer, and I want to talk about the topic of writing love scenes. For some people, they can be very intimidating. They could be off-putting, especially if you don't know the sensual level of the scene, if you don't know what type of love scene you want to portray on the page, whether it's erotic, whether it's real steamy, whether it's sweet and sensual. You have to determine the type of love scene that is appropriate for your characters and for the story that you're writing. And you can start with level 1, which is sweet and chaste, or you can start with like level 2, which is a little more. It's not an open door scene. And open door sex scenes are where you see everything, and it can be very erotic and it can be very graphic. So you, as a writer, have to determine the heat level of your story, and you have to determine the comfort level of your characters, how much they want to express to each other, and how much they want to show on the page. And so for me, when I wrote my first love scene, I was definitely intimidated. I was nervous about trying to put sex on paper, trying to capture the mood and the feeling, and to make sure that all the body parts were in the right places, that all the hands were doing the right things, and that the activity that I was describing was actually doable. Because sometimes in your mind you can imagine something, but the practicality of the scene and the mechanics of the scene may not work. So you have to play the scene out in your head. And this is what I suggest: play it out in your head, play it in slow motion as though it's a movie. And sometimes you may even have to act it out with your body. I know it sounds a little strange, like, but you may have to, like, touch your arms slightly to see how that feels. And then when you do that, you feel the hairs on your arm, or the veins in your neck, or the back, the curve of your shoulder. So there is a lot that needs to be considered when you're writing a love scene. You have to think of your five senses: taste, smell, touch. What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you see? All those things are important in writing a love scene. And then what is the love scene trying to convey about the characters, and where does the love scene take place? If it's a love scene that takes place in the beginning of the story, it may be an introduction to their sexual lives and their sexual activity. So it could be an intro to the window of their love activities, or how they want to express themselves sexually. So the first love scene could be the intro, and it could be awkward, or it could be heated, or it could be passionate. It could be whatever you want. And as I said, it depends on what type of story you're writing. Some people write Christian romance, so those love scenes would be chaste, and it's more about the emotional side of the characters as opposed to the physical side. So it's more of what's going on inside their heads and how they feel about each other emotionally. That would be Christian romance, or a real sweet romance. If you want something a little more spicy, then the first love scene could be, it could be a one night stand. It could be a quickie. It could be two strangers that thought they would never see each other again, and decided to just go all in for it. And then later on, they find out that they're working together or something like that. So you have to determine the relevance of the love scene, how much you want to put into that scene, and then take into account all of the five senses. As I said, like the taste, the smell, what do you see, what do you hear, what do you feel, all that is important. And then, as I said, like, texture or your touch, like touching yourself and like feeling your skin and feeling the smoothness of the skin or the hair on your arms or the curve of your neck or your back. All those things play an important role in writing love scenes. And then in addition to that, where are these love scenes, what story are these love scenes telling? Because each love scene should build on the previous one, so it should be a mounting situation where the tension and the passion and everything is building and you're taking the reader along for a ride. So those are things that are important. And then I know when I was writing my first love scene, I was intimidated. I was nervous about trying to get that the sexual act on paper and trying to describe it and trying to make sure that it's functional and that I'm not describing something that is impossible or putting the characters in some type of a sexual position that is just not achievable. So things like that are important, and visualizing it in your mind definitely can help. And once you get into writing the scene, you can get caught up in it and you can write for pages. I know, like I said, with my first love scene, I was so intimidated. I just wanted to rush right through it. So it was like a page. It was just one page, and it was lacking a lot, but I was intimidated. I didn't think I could do it, so I rushed through it. But love scenes should be something that you enjoy and you take your time writing. And I've heard all other authors look at actual illustrations of sexual activities in books to try to see the mechanics. I've even heard of people using dolls and positioning dolls in certain positions so that they can capture the scene and everything. So whatever works for you. For me, it's more I visualize it in my mind, and then I try to convey it on paper. I also like watching romance novels. I mean, not romance, not romance movies, things like that, romantic movies, things like that, where I can see the tension building, where I can see the looks that they give each other, or the glances, or the smile, or the wink, just capturing those physical little indications that there is sexual attention and sexual attraction there. So these are things that I try when I write romance novels and when I write sex scenes. And as you write more, you will get better and you will become very creative. And in the love scenes, they can all be different. They're not the same, even though they're doing the same thing, which is kissing or lovemaking. There are different ways to convey this, and each character has their own way of expressing their sexuality, and you can have fun with that as well. So I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it has been entertaining and enlightening. And as always, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Love, peace, joy, and happiness. Until next time, bye-bye.